Hello everybody, Backyard Bullion here, and welcome to episode 126 of In Focus Friday, where we take a cool and interesting looking gold or silver item and put it up nice and close to the camera. Now last week we did just that with an incredible Aztec calendar round, not coin. I apologise to all of you out there for calling it a coin so many times in that video, but it picked up some incredible detail on it and it is fantastic. So if you haven't seen it, well worth a look. It's been one of my most popular In Focus Friday episodes I've pretty much ever done, so go and check it out. The link, as always, is down in the description below. Now you'll notice that what we have on the table here is not what we had on the table at the end of last week's episode in the voting. Those three items, the Germania, the Gibraltar and that 100-gram bar, will be returning at the end of this episode, and we're going to combine the votes from today's episode with last week's as well to get a grand winner for what we're going to have a look at next time. So make sure you stick around and cast your vote for what you want to see. But today it is a special kilo edition version of In Focus Friday. I've got here a 1 ounce kookaburra and a 1 ounce koala, and sitting behind them are 1 kilo versions. Now these are not my coins, they've come as part of the group order, and you may well have seen that unboxing we did on Wednesday. It's a pretty incredible sight to behold, and part of that order were a couple of different designs of kilo coins. Now we've not featured very many kilo coins on my channel before. I did have a kilo Libertad once and then sold it, but here we have 2 incredible kilo Perth Mint creations. So we're going to have a quick look at these and talk a little bit about them. What shall we start with? Let's go with the kookaburra, and I'll tell you for why in a moment. So now we can't really get that close to this because it's a huge coin. Can you even call it a coin? I mean, legally, technically, it is a coin. Look, it's got $30 on the back, so I can, to my heart's content, call it a coin all day long and not get it confused with a round. But is it really a coin? It's just more of a drinks coaster. To be honest, it's more of a weapon. You could throw this at somebody and do some serious damage. But it is very, very cool. It's very interesting. Of course, it's very heavy, being a kilo, 32.15 ounces of silver in here. Of course, it's 999 fine silver, Perth Mint, and it's the Kookaburra series. Now, everybody, well, I say everybody, you know, Kookaburra is maybe not for everybody, but you would probably not be a very long time serving stacker if you've not seen some of the Kookaburras and koalas coming out of the Perth Mint. You know, there are various different designs. They've been going on for an awful long time now, and this is the design from 2014. Which I have to say I really, really like. It's a very, very cool design. The top one for me though is that 2008 one with the kookaburra sitting on that spider's web. If we had a kilo version of that, we'd be laughing because it's an incredibly valuable coin, but it's also incredibly pretty. So, kilo coins, should you even bother with them? I mean, what's the difference? Can you really, is the detail coming out even more on a bigger coin than it is on a smaller coin? Well, of course, you can see all of the other intricate little parts of the kookaburra if we can get it as close to the camera as possible. You know, it really does allow the design of the coin to be shown off. You can see all of the tiny little feather details on here. But one thing that is interesting is that when you have a coin like this size and you don't necessarily have a design which is all-encompassing and showing off all of the different parts of it, some bits can look a little bit bland, like the wood that it's sitting on. Presumably that's a tree or a tree branch. It's not that impressive. I mean, if it was a smaller coin, yeah, it's probably, where if we put that other kookaburra, this is not the same year kookaburra, unfortunately I don't have one, but if you put that one, which is the newest one, up close to the camera, you can see that the branch it's sitting on looks kind of cool, because the you know, the grain of the wood, the ripples in the wood are a lot tighter together, and it looks, you know, a lot better in my opinion. So when you blow up that same design, it maybe just loses some of the intricacies on it. Of course, like with the kookaburra itself, you've got all of the nice little intricate details on the feathers which do show up, but again, you know, they're not necessarily that complicated of details. We've basically got a whole array of different lines and angles that are basically making up the feathers, so it's not necessarily going to transpose to an incredibly detailed looking coin. But nevertheless, it's got a certain statement about it which is undeniably cool. A kilo coin, I mean, it really is very heavy. A kilo's a heavy thing, you know, you don't realise it, and when you pick up a kilo bar or kilo of silver, kilo coin of silver for the first time, you notice that it's it's off. In your mind, it looks a little bit weird, and your brain doesn't quite work out. But anyway, let's just run through a few of the specs. Obviously, it's 32.15 ounces of silver, 1 kilo. The diameter is about 10 centimeters, just over 10 centimeters, so it's 100.6 millimeters or something. And the thickness is about 14.6, so it really is a very chunky monkey, or a chunky kookaburra. It's certainly had its fair share of nibbles and snacks to get it this fat, so really is. It's got a reeded edge as well. Now, I'm not taking it out the capsule. This isn't mine. It's part of that group order that we've done. So this customer obviously doesn't want my grubby little mitts all over it, so not going to take it out. But I hope you guys have really seen and appreciated the beauty of a kilo kookaburra right there. Now, the second one to look at is the koala, and this one is my favourite of the two, and I'll tell you for why, and it's because of the frosted style finish that's on this instead of the shiny one. For one thing, it's actually a lot easier to film with because you don't want to see muggins here on the other side of that camera. I've got a face for radio, let's say, so it's always difficult to film with a very reflective and shiny coin, but this one, a lot better. You can just about make out things, and I'm not going to show my old muggins here, but yeah, anyway, frosted finish. I like a frosted finish. It's really very good. I think it adds a lot more flavour to the coin and the design. Again, we've got similar issues, I think, with when you blow up a coin to this size, you do lose a little bit of that kind of intricacy around the design. It still looks very, very cool, but at the same time, you know, again, we've got the koala in the 1 ounce version here, and you can see that just the kind of the detail, I think it makes it look a little bit better when it's smaller. And I've said this before on a few other things, like the small lunar coins from the Perth Mint. Often the ½ ounce one looks really kind of cool in comparison with the big 10 ounce versions. So I don't know, I mean, it's each to their own. I really like frosted coins like this. I think that it's just very pretty and it's very cool as a kilo coin. Same thickness and diameter as the kookaburra that we've got there. So again, Queenie on the back, in rank Broadley's portrait, which in my opinion is the best portrait of Queenie. All in a frosted finish as well, which is again a really nice feature. And the Perth Mint quality is always pretty sublime. Now you'll notice there's something going on down here between $30 and $. This was basically just a random year purchase from this customer at the European Mint, so it wasn't necessarily billed as a perfect condition coin. I'm looking at it through the capsule. It's probably not going to be able to be shown up on the camera very well. I wonder if we can get even closer. It's not scratches, it's just a bit of fluff. It's a bit of, I think, a bit of fluff that's been caught in the capsule at some point or another, and I'm sure that once you take this out of the capsule, you'll be able to get rid of that fluff. So pretty good condition for what is essentially sold as pretty cheap silver in a kilo form, which you don't get often. So that's quite interesting in its own right. But I definitely prefer this koala to the kookaburra. The more I'm looking at it, the more I'm enjoying it more, I think, if we can get them both side by side. And I'd like to know your opinion. So let's put, there's going to be 2 votes. You vote for which of these two are your favourite, the kookaburra or the koala. And then, of course, we need to get to the voting for next week's items. We'll do that in a moment, though. So there we go. Let me know down in the comment section which one of these two you prefer. For me, it's the koala rather than the kookaburra. So, the kilo edition of InFocus Friday out of the way. What are we going to look at next time? So I said at the start of the episode that we're going to combine the votes from today with the votes that everybody put in last week. So there'll be a huge number of votes for me to count. We'll do it like this because it's a little bit more symmetric. There's 3 different items to choose from. We have this very, very cool silver bar, which was a gift from a Silver Forum member to us in the PO box, which was very, very generous, of Lakshi and Ganesh. We've also got the Germania silver round, which is pretty cool. That's, I think, the front runner from the first week's worth of voting. And then we've got the Gibraltar coin, which surprisingly actually got quite a lot of votes in last week's episode compared with everything that we've got else on the table. So that's the underdog. I'm not sure it's going to catch up enough ground to win. At the moment, it's between the 100 gram bar and the Germania, but every vote does count. 2 weeks ago, the Germania lost out by just 1 single vote. So if you'd like to see these coins, then please do vote down in the comment section. If you enjoyed today's video and you enjoyed these kilo coins, I'm going to struggle to get them all in frame here, then please do make sure you hit that like button on this video. And if you'd like to see future episodes of In Focus Friday, please make sure that you hit that subscribe button if you've not already done so. And if you are subscribed and you'd like to get notifications when I upload videos, then please hit that alarm bell. Otherwise, that is all I have to say. Thank you one and all for watching. Tomorrow's going to be a fun day because we're going to have a close look at 1,500 plus ounces of silver, all on the table, that all came out of that box that you saw on Wednesday. So definitely one not to miss. Thank you one and all for watching. Have a brilliant weekend. And as always, please make sure you like, share, comment, and subscribe for more.